This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome back to second session, and we'll get started with today's session where we will see some advanced formulas and functions, and we will dive deep into how to do data analysis and data insight using Microsoft Excel. Before I go ahead, I just quickly want to understand whether the audio is good or not, and whether I am visible to each one of you or not, and my screen at the same time. Can I have a quick feedback, my dear friends? Audio, video, and screen. Are all three okay? Perfect. All right. All right. Then let's get started. Right? Okay. So in today's agenda, what we are gonna do here is we will see some advanced formulas and functions and data manipulation. We'll also see as a data engineer how do we sort and filter things. We will also see something called as lookup, which is one of the most used formulas and functions in the industry as of today, right? And then at the end of the session, we will discuss some of the case studies also which are used in the industry and how you can build up your career as an analyst, especially if you are from economics, stats, and maths background. So you have a great opportunity to become a great analyst, right? So because your background is from economics, you have a better sense of finance, you have a better sense of how money works. Because you are from the background of maths and stats, so the entire data science is actually working on maths and stats. So you always have a better sense of the basic underlying principles. That makes you one of the best candidates for these types of jobs, which are one of the most highest paying jobs in the world, right? But definitely without appropriate skill sets, nobody is going to give you these high paying jobs, right? And that is why we have come up with this session, which will give you the required industry skill set. If you have these skill sets along with your degree, you can easily apply. If you are in your final year, you can easily apply to such kind of job roles and fetch a salary which starts with a least minimum of 6 lakhs per annum. It goes up to 15 to 20 lakh rupees per annum very easily. Approximately, it will require you, suppose you put 100 hours, so you can go for an entry level job, like 100 hours of training into data. If you put close to 900 hours, you can go to more high paying or a premium class pay package in salary very easily. But without putting that much of time and effort and learning industry oriented things, it's not going to happen, right? So that's why this session is there for you to make you understand what all skills are required in the industry. I've been dealing with almost all the industry, to be very honest. I train Accenture, and to be very honest, Accenture are getting trained for similar kind of training which you are getting offered, right? Every single candidate who is hired by Accenture, they are sent to me first for onboarding training, where there is a series of training that they undergo, and one of the trainings that they undergo is how to use Excel for analytics and for their day-to-day basis office use. So this is a compulsory thing or skill set that I believe if it's for everyone. Okay. That being said, guys, let's get started with the session. Last time we were working on this data set, right? I hope this data set is with you now, right? 01 Excel basics. Anyone who does not have this data set can ask for it. We have already shared this data set on email and on your support group at the same time, right? I'll do a very quick recap of what we did yesterday. Yeah, is the audio okay? Better? Is the audio okay? What I'll do here is let me change the microphone a bit. Okay. How about now? Is the audio better now? Is the audio better now? Yes. How about now? Is the audio much better now? Hmm? How about now? Is the audio loud enough? Is the audio good enough now? Yeah, I think so. Audio should be much better now. Yes? All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, okay, okay. Will do, will do. Okay, in case you're facing any trouble in between regarding audio or anything, just let me know. Okay, there is no problem. We'll fix it up. Yeah, happens with online training programs all the time. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap for what we did yesterday. All right, that would be great, I suppose. Okay, and then we will proceed further with new things. There is no hurry. Whatever formulas, whatever functions we are covering up, you should be able to apply it and should know where to use it. Okay. Generally, also you should know where to use it so that you can solve your day-to-day basis problems, do your office work or your project work, and also professionally how to use it in terms of analysis. Right, a lot of analysis is happening. All right. So last time we talked about three things. Right, as if you want to build up your career as an analyst, you need to be an expert of three things. What are those three things? Number one, you should know how to do data engineering. Okay, fancy word. All it means is to collect data. Okay, you should know how to collect data. Then you should know how to do data analytics. Data analytics is where you will analyze the data and make it meaningful. Okay, you should know how to put it into a meaningful format. So this is what we were doing yesterday. We started with it, we did not complete it. Where we are trying to, once we have extracted the data, we have the data, we were applying a lot of formulas and function into it so that we can make it more meaningful, right? For example, the last example we took was we had an email ID, but we had no idea name or about the individual's first name and last name, right? So the data had some points or some data points. So as a data analytics, I will run a lot of functions into it and make the data meaningful, right? So I'll quickly analyze the data. Is my data okay or it is not okay? Is there something missing? Is it in the right format? Yes or no? So I will put it into the right format. So for that, I need a lot of functions and formulas. Okay, so this is second step. Third step is once you have put everything into nice format, your data is ready. You should know how to analyze it for your business. Then comes charting options, then comes pivot tables, a lot of other advanced options where I will analyze it and try to take some decisions for my organization, right? Or you should be able to do research. So that is the last step. One, two, three. I hope this is clear. If you want to become a data scientist or you want to become an economic analyst of any kind, these are the three things you should be very good at. Okay, all right. Moving further, allow me 10 seconds. So yesterday we created a Excel sheet, right? I'm going to use the same Excel sheet. And then while we were working at this Excel sheet, yeah, here, this was the Excel sheet that we were working, right? So here we try to get data from various different types of sources. That's what a data engineer would do.
So we exported the data from Excel. So we had a financial data, right? So it is asking you are getting connected to an external source. Should we allow it or not? So we connected to an external data source like the financial sheet. Now Excel 2021, even 16 and 19 is AI enabled. It will quickly automatically analyze what is the data source and what are fields are there in that data set. We are doing a quick recap, guys. It will take 5 minutes. So this is I'm connecting to another Excel sheet. Now in this Excel sheet there is a lot of data. I picked up cookie sales data, right?
Sir,
Once I picked up, yes,
sir, I was having technical issues with my Excel sheet. Have you already discussed yesterday's problem?
no, I have not yet discussed yesterday's problem. Okay,
Okay, sir.
I'm doing a quick recap of what we did yesterday. Okay, then we'll discuss yesterday's problem also. How do we do
Yes.
the cleaning of the data, which is what a data analyst is supposed to do. Hmm? Okay, so cookie data is something we imported, right? Last time, that's what we did. Once we did the cookie data import, something called as Power Query Editor. This is now AI enabled thing popped up here like this, right? And then when this is the data which I have loaded from an external source. Now here I can do lot of things. For example, removing certain columns. Always remove all the unnecessary columns. It's a set guidelines or a rule that we follow when it comes to data engineering, right? Remove certain columns that are not required or only pick those columns that are required. How many rows do you want to keep? You can definitely keep those many rows. There could be lakhs of data. Usually when we run analytics, we run into certain percentage, right? Percentage are sometimes 70/30. We will only work on 70% of the data. Sometimes we optimize it to 50/50 also. Depending upon how many number of rows and how many data are there, we will not go with complete data. We might take some amount of data, okay, just to reduce the workload. You can split the column. Any column has multiple data, you can split it up very easily, right? You can change the data type from here. You can replace some value with another value. Suppose there is a junk value, you want to replace it, so complete value can be replaced. Yesterday we replaced dollar with nothing, right? Because the dollar was there, it was creating trouble for us. So that also we did, right? Transformation. So this is the transformation that we can apply, right? Transpose, we'll see transpose today also. Okay, these are the standard things that we can apply for a particular type of a data set. Then not only this, we connected to an external data set also from the website, right? If you remember, we took up world population data, right? We could have taken any data. We took world population data. So we went to files, new source files, then then no. Online services, no. Other sources, yes. We went to other sources and connect to the web, right? Now when you connect to web, you can put any website on internet, any website which is available on internet. Okay, so we had list of countries and its population. So we connected to that URL, wikipedia.list of countries and Wikipedia, and we fetched that data, right? So we connected. It takes some time, some seconds. We connected to this data set. We are doing a very quick recap for yesterday's session. You can also watch the video that we have shared it. And yesterday, some of you have asked for how to install 2021. So I suppose you got the instruction video at the same time the installer, and you were able to figure it out how to install it. So this is how I connected to the see this website data is available now, right? So I connected to a website. Okay, I would also try to show you the web. So I'll do it again. This is the website URL I copied pasted from the Chrome. So there is something called as web view also. Yeah, there's something called as web view also here. Can you see this web view? When you are connecting to a website source, there is a table view. So when you click on this, it will show you the table, or you can check web view also. So here is the website that I had opened up. So here, can you see that table is automatically highlighted? Yeah, that means this data is picked up, right? And then you just do a connect. Likewise, you can connect to any data source. Many of the times, my dear friends, in an organization, you will get PDF, or I showed you some websites from where you can grab data, right? All economic data, farming data, GDP data, salary data, income tax data, all these data is freely available to each one of you, right? So those data might be in PDF format. So in case your data is in PDF format, what we'll do? New source, file, PDF, right? Many of the time, data is extracted from some softwares. Some software is there. What software? SAP HANA. Companies use it for ERP planning. Tally, where you have all finance thing that are there. Likewise, there are many tools, many softwares that companies are using. So what happens in those software is, from that software you can extract the data. There is something called as export data in every software. So when you click on export data on those type of softwares, it could be in XML format or JSON format. This is a special type of file, just like how we have Word file, Excel file, PPT file, PDF file. Similarly, XML, JSON files are there. So you can use appropriate options. Yeah, if it is a database, you can connect to all different types of database. Right? So you have all the options. Now I extracted all the data set, right? Every data set is here. Now you should know how to merge it. Unless and until you don't merge it, it will make no sense. So how do we merge it? Very simple. There's something called as merge query, which is right here. Yeah, which is right here. We are still doing a quick recap about yesterday's session. So merge query, if you click on merge query, hmm, so yeah, here. When you click on merge query, there is something called as join. Join is a technical term. Okay. Connecting two independent data set together. Okay. So this join is written here, if you can see here. Left join, right join, inner join, outer join, full outer join. I will not get into detail of all these things, uh, as if, at least not now, but later on I can tell you what are the different ways of connecting two data sources. So if you can see here, there are 6 different ways in which you can connect two data sources and combine them together, which is the most important task when you get into analytics. Okay. So see, I'll just read it out for you for just now, just for now. When we will do advanced training, then I'll get into detail. Okay. Left outer join, which is the default thing. Okay. All from the first matching the second. So when you say left outer join, so two data set will be combined if one column from the first one matches one column in the second one, right? That is the condition. So here what will happen is, I'll just quickly go through it. What is going to happen here is, In case the match is found, then the complete data of the second data set or the second table will come to the first one, right? So the first data is on left. I'll just show you with the user diagram. This is my first data. So this is my sales data, and this is my population data. So when you do left outer join, if suppose here we have country data, country column. So if country column matches the country column here, all these data will come here and combine. So see, this data is where it is joining, it is coming and joining to the left hand side, right? That is why it is called as left outer join. Similarly, we have right outer join. If everything matches, these data will move to the population column, right? Then we have full outer join, inner join, only the matching columns will come. The rest all things will not come, right? This is something we need to explore in the advanced training session. So what I did here was I selected the country, then I selected my second data set. Here also I selected the country. So what is happening here is left outer join. It's a new concept for you, but it's a very easy, simple concept, right? How to connect two data sources. Likewise, I can connect innumerable data set, population, GDP. I can connect everything and anything and then study it. This is just an example. We sometimes connect 50 different data sources together and combine them all together and then study it to take meaningful decisions. Okay, all right. Combined, combined. Just do an okay. Right? Just do an okay. So this data, see, it got combined. In the cookie sales data, it got combined. Now here we only kept population. We did not know or we did not want the country part of it. So we removed it. Yeah, so all the population data has come here. So this is what we did yesterday, right? This is what we did yesterday. All right, and then once you're done, you just need to close and load it. So I am gonna discard it, and here my combined data was ready with my population at the end. Okay. Now I remember Dhruv asked me a question, and Dhruv said, "Sir, will this data automatically uh, get updated?" Right? If you guys remember, Dhruv asked me this particular question because you are connecting to a website, so this data will it automatically get um, automatically get updated? So default response that was no, Dhruv, it will not automatically get updated, but you can manually update it. How do we do it? So select this data set, click on data. Can you see a refresh button here? Is the refresh button, is this button available? Can you see this? Yeah. So refresh this particular thing or refresh all the data sources. So if I do a refresh here, it will go to the website and get the latest data set. But that will only happen if I click on refresh. It will not happen automatically. So there is a way to refresh the data set. So
Sir,
why we need it? Yes.
is there a way to set it to auto refresh every time the file is opened? The way auto
Mm,
calculate is done.
there is no direct way of doing auto refresh, but then in an advanced training module, there is something called as macros. Okay. Macros is a little bit of programming involved. So there is no default option, but indirectly I can do it. That is possible. Customization is possible. Every time I open it up and it will connect and it will refresh it. So it is a possibility, but I don't have that option directly. So this option is also there. You can refresh the connection and it will fetch you the latest data. Ideally, Dhruv, we don't. unless and until my project demands it, we don't refresh the data set. But in certain cases, like we want to know the rate of the gold, or we want to know the crude price of the oil, or we want to know the current value of rupee, right? So those data gets updated every few minutes. That time it is very important, right? That time it is very important. Or time, right? Time is there. So suppose you want to fetch time from a particular website, so that also you can do. um, so there is a website called as time and date. So there are many scenarios. So this is website called as time and date, right? Yeah. So what this website do is, this website has got all the time in the world: world clock, main clock, China time, India time, Pakistan time, USA time, this time zone, that time zone, calendar time zone, weather time zone, sun calendar, moon calendar, every possible type of calendar and date and time system this website has got. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, right? So sometimes I might need this data also, right? But this data gets updated, right? Every second it is getting updated. So I might have to put a quick refresh, right? So this also you can try and do it. Other sources from web, time and date. Yeah, connect, establish a connection. Now it will show you multiple types of data which is there. You will have to pick it up which data you want. It will show you a lot of options. 50, 60, 70 options it should show you. Then you'll have to figure it out which one you want to pick up. So you might want to pick up just the time. Maybe this, or maybe this. So this is also another option where your refresh is important. Otherwise, you'll have a static data. Now, if we get into advanced mode, there is called as web APIs and all, where you can connect to a website where things will get automatically refreshed. So you can connect to any external organization also. I'll show you that option also.
So for time sensitive operations, do we have a guarantee on latency or in Excel?
So when we talk about latency in terms of sensitive operation, no, Excel is not that capable in terms of it cannot control if there is a timeout, but it will definitely tell you that the connection has timed out or the data is not loaded. But you cannot get into latency and optimize how it is getting connected, right? So these are one of the reasons why Excel might not be an ideal thing to use it, right? But you can obviously, if the query fails, it will tell you that the query has failed or the operation is not successfully completed. But more than that, it does not have the network capability to customize things. Okay, all right. So yes, so I'll just show you something else also. Any website if you put up, yeah, not this. Allow me 10 seconds more. So there are something called as web APIs also. Okay, here. So suppose you are connecting to a particular type of a website, right? And it is taking a lot of a time. So here you can set up, timeout. If it takes more than this time, just exit the operations. So there are some options that are available for you, but you might not have great control over it, right? So this is some additional settings that you can do when you are connecting to an external sources in the advanced options. Okay, I hope that solves your problem.
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, but then you will not have much of control in case it times out, because see, you cannot program a lot of things in Excel. There are certain tools where you get a lot of customization, but then there is workaround for it. There are certain things that you will not have default option, but there is always a workaround for those things which you can do, because Excel is an open tool for each one of you. You can customize it to whatever level you want. Okay, we connected to all the data sources, then then we started doing our magic. So this is collecting the data, says how we connected everything, right? So I'll close this and I'll come back to my further tutorial. Yesterday we also saw difference between function and formulas. Formulas is when you add everything. So this is my formula bar. Okay, so let me come here, give you a quick introduction. There are 7 to 8 categories of formulas that are available in Microsoft Excel. Financial formulas, logical formulas, if you want to create some criterias, or you want to put up some logical conditions, how human would think, right? Only if this and this, both the conditions satisfied, run the formula. So those things, this and this, so and is here, right? So such kind of logical things you can put up into your Excel, right? There is XOR, there is true, there is or, there is not. These are all logical decision making capabilities. Okay, we'll discuss this also. Okay, I'm sorry. Then text based, how to manipulate text, how to manipulate date, how to search and go through your data set. This is important. Okay, this is what a business analyst requires. Business analyst should be an expert into these things. There is some mathematical and trigonometrical formulas also. We don't require these things per se in analytical job role, but then there are certain things that are important, right? Like LCM, GCD, and all are sometimes important. Okay, so my stat students would know what is the significance of these 2 to 3 things. And then there are certain statistical formulas. These statistical formulas, economic students, you may or may not be aware of, but subconsciously you should know all these things. Okay, and I'm pretty sure it must be there in your curriculum also in some form, right? Standard deviation, what's happening. Some kind of math should be there for economic students so that you can analyze these things. So out of all of these things, what all things are important? What is a cut? You should know. So in this training program, we will not get into formulas and basic things about it. We will get into how to use them to solve problems. Okay, I will not talk about you know getting into much of theoretical part. I will get into complete practical aspect of it. Okay, so when we talk about standard deviation, there is a huge theory about it for at least for an hour, right? So what I will do here is I'll quickly tell you in 2 minutes. Okay, this is what it is and how to use it. Okay, and where to use it. That is something that I'll focus into this training session. So we discussed yesterday difference between formulas and functions. Formula is when we actually add everything like this. D4, so D and 4, D column, fourth row, right? We are adding everything 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to select, right? You have to select. This is simple formula. Function is, there are certain inbuilt functions which will do the same job. So sum, Within the bracket, select the range. Select the range. Okay, select the range. I hope everybody have some idea about Excel. You know this is column and this is row. A, B, C, D, column and row. And this one particular thing is called as cell. This one field where you put value is called as a cell. Okay, all right. And this is my formula bar. We also discussed yesterday sum if. If you want to put up a condition, then it is called as sum if. Only add after it satisfies some type of a condition. Okay, more than sum, you would require sum if. So here you have to select the range, specify the criteria. Now, what criteria should be there? That would depend on your data set, right? Whatever, it could be any criteria. You want to check whether the age is 18 years old or not. You want to check whether the minimum sale is 40 or not. Anything, XYZ, right? So here I'm checking, here I will check only add if the value is more than 30. That's what I'm trying to check. Yeah. So this is what had happened. So how many values are more than 30? 50 and 50, two values which are more than 30. So it added only those two values. So this is the criteria that I have set up. You can add any criteria, right? And there are certain logical thing also. So you can set up something like this also. This and and. So when you say and, there are two conditions you are putting up. This or, if you put or, then either this or that. Yeah, either this or that. Both the condition you are putting up. If it is more than 15, it will add it up. If it is more than 30, it will add it up. Right? So this is how you create conditions. We'll see some more conditions, how to put conditions into your functions and formulas. Okay. Then we went to the second tab. Okay, all you need to do here is just go to the second sheet here at the bottom. This is called as a sheet. At the bottom, if you see, this is called as sheet. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, sheet 5. Just like in your book, you have one page, second page, third page, fourth page. This is called as a sheet. Right? Each sheet can hold its own independent data. Then we went to the fill. I hope this data set is there with you. You can practice simultaneously with me. Also, if you fail to practice for some reason, instructions are written here. You can follow it up, and at your own pace, you can also practice it. All right. Okay. Suppose I applied a formula here. So what is a fill? Suppose I applied a formula called as sum. Any formula if I applied, I said sum of these two things. So I will click my mouse and select these two things. Sum of these two things. Okay. So can you see here a colon has come here? That means it is selecting a range. Selecting a range from C4 to D4. Hmm? Here. Once I have applied formula to one row, at here if you see there is a small dot. There is a small dot here. If I click here and pull it down, the same formula will apply to all the rows below it. This is called as fill. This is basically uh, how smartly the Excel is applying the formula and repeating it to all the rows below it, so that you don't have to again and again write formulas for all the rows separately. This is called as a fill. Okay. Now let's come back to what we were doing yesterday. All right. Now let's come back to what we were doing yesterday. Okay, all right. So yesterday I gave you a challenge. First of all, we did a split, right? We did a split. Suppose your data has multiple things, which will happen 101% every single time. So how to split data based on comma? So we saw there is something called as, we went to data, we selected this, we went to data, there is something called as text to columns. There is a text, you need to split it into columns, right? So I selected this delimiter, and then I selected the separator. Here tab is not the separator, delimiter means the separator. Here comma is the separator. Okay, I do a next, which format it should be, general format. Destination, after splitting up, where it should go. So I will say ki after splitting it up, I'll select this destination. I said after splitting it up, put it here. If I don't do it, it will get replaced. And then I'll do a finish. Split, done. Right? Split, done. All right. Now there are some formulas also which are important for you to split things. Okay. For example, yeah, we'll take some examples here. Yes. For example, this is my name. Okay. And I want this data to separate. Okay. I want my first name separately and my last name separately. Correct? So yesterday what we did was we used formula called as left. Left will split things from the left. One of the most used formulas. I'll select the text. So whenever you put formula left, open a bracket. And here can you see at the bottom, Excel automatically will give you the suggestion how the formula should be formed. So always refer this. Okay. Over a period of time, you will get a practice, you will not need to refer it. So this is giving you a hint. Left split, that means it will split from the left. Select the text. Okay, this is the text I want to split, comma, number of characters, right? So here Ajit is 4 characters. So from left, after 4 characters, you split it up. But then we saw yesterday that by hard coding the number of characters, I cannot reuse this formula. That was the challenge, correct? If you remember, because the same formula will not work for somebody else, right? So if we say Calvin Koshi, it will not work for him, right? If I do a fill here, it will not work for him because his name has got first name has got 6 characters. So what we did here was we used find. Find is a separate formula. We are combining two formulas together. Okay. So this is what you need to do. You should know all the formulas and functions and should know how to combine them and use them to get desired result. So find, find. So what do you need to find here? Here I don't have dot. Here I have a simple space. So within the quotes, I will find the space. My dear friends, in case you are using any type of a character in the formula, any character, simple space, dot, at the rate, A, B, C, D, any character if you have to write in this formula bar, very important instruction. Always put it into quotes. Why so? If you don't do so, Excel will think that it is some type of a formula like find and left. Okay, and then it will get confused and it will give you an error. So if you are searching any character, symbol, or number, put it inside a quote. Okay, for all the string related things, numbers and symbols, all the alphabets and symbols. Number you can put comma within this text. Also remember the number of brackets opened should be closed. Otherwise, this formula will become incomplete. So here two brackets have opened, but only one is closed. So please close the second one also. All right, these are simple basic things, simple syntax for putting up the formulas, right? I'll just quickly fix it. Yes, here the split has happened. But now there is a big problem here. You might not be able to see it, but the split had happened at the position number 5. Because if you count Ajit, A, J, I, T, and it is trying to find the space. Now space is at the 5th position. So when the split will happen, it will happen at the 5th position, not at the 4th position. So here an extra white space will come, which we are not able to see. Okay, which we are not able to see. If this was, suppose, this was something like this, yeah, and we had to split at the dot, dot would have come extra. That is why we did a small tweak and we did -1. Right? We did this to logically make our formula correct. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very simple thing. Do if you are not able to understand it or it's getting little confusing for you, just do a simple practice by yourself. You'll know, and you have the sheet. Why don't you practice it? Okay. Now I want the last name. That was the challenge I gave you yesterday. So for last name, I need to do a right split. Right split. So let's do the right split. Right split. Select it, comma. Then I'll do the same thing. Right split. Find dot. So here my separator is dot. If it is a space, I will put space. Right? Depends upon what is my delimiter. Here, if it is a dot, I'm putting a dot just to remove the confusion of the space. Okay. Find this comma within this text and -1. Can you see this formula is not working for me? This formula is not working for me. Why? Those who are wondering, sir, why are we learning this? My dear friend, when you'll get a economics data set, right, your data might have this problem, which you'll have to fix it. You'll have to split it up in many ways. Okay, because data will not be into ready format for anyone. If government has posted the data, that data will have mix of lot of things, right? So you'll have to remove everything and only keep what is required. So how will you remove everything? Will you start typing it manually? No, you cannot. You'll have to use some of these things to clear and filter and clean your data. This is cleaning your data. Okay, now you are doing the job of, yeah, data analyst who is cleaning everything and putting into a right format. Okay, All right. See, this is not working. This is not working because there is a logical problem. Yes, Dhruv, would you like to ask me something?
Sir, I had the answer. Mm,
Oh, you have
Should
the
I
answer.
answer?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes.
Sir, so find gives the index from the left, which is the standard way of doing it. But for right, you have to give the number of characters from the right, which is why when we
Right.
are the dot is five spaces, one, two, three, four, five spaces from the left. This is taking five spaces from the right. That's why we are getting A. The last one is not inclusive.
Exactly.
Oh no,
Exactly,
five
Dhruv.
minus one, four. Four characters from the right.
Wonderful, Dhruv. So that's the problem. That's the problem. See, the problem here is with the way the formula works. Just like how we read left to right, the formula works left to right. So it is finding the dot from the left side, which is on fifth position, minus 1 equals to 4. And then this is giving you 4. And then it is doing a right split at the fourth position from the back. One, 2, 3, 4. So I'm getting only A, R, M, A. So how will we fix it, Dhruv? Now, how we fix this problem?
Sir, we will take first. We'll need to use a different function. We need the length of the string. Then,
Wonderful.
since we want to find we know that the dot is at the fourth character from the left, which must be length minus four characters from the right. Like that illustration could be made where you have the length, you have the four characters coming from the left, and so you have to find that length minus position. Correct. The
Perfect, Dhruv.
explanation is
Perfect.
better with the diagram. But
No problem, Dhruv. What I'll do here is I'll try to elaborate what Dhruv just said. So see, very simple understanding is, suppose there are five students. Okay, suppose there are five students. Okay, now you are in the second number from start. Does that mean you are also second number from the back of the sequence? No, no. These five people are standing in a straight line. He is in the second position from front. Does that mean he is also on the second position from the back? No. So how do you find out his position? Simple. One, two, three, four, five. Total is five, right? Five minus two. Five minus two. Total minus two. So he is after third position from the back. One, two, three, and after three is there. So that's how you find position of someone from back, right? So in a class of 50, you are first. तो पीछे से you are 50, no, which is after 49, correct? आगे से you are first, पीछे से you are 50. That means you are after 49 from the back. So that's the simple maths that we are applying here. So when you split it from the right hand side, what we do here is, I know the position of this dot, which is on the fifth position. From left, from right, it is on what position? So for that, I will find the total length. So there is a formula like Dhruv said, LEN, calculate the total length of the sequence. So total length is 14, 15, 19. Total is 19. Okay, 19 minus 5. Okay, 19 minus 5. Okay, something like this. So this will give you some result. Then it will split from back at this position. Okay, so let's try to implement it. Simple logical thing. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do here is, this formula is there, right? I will rewrite this formula. len, okay, len of this minus, find the dot. Now I don't need minus 1, right? I don't need minus 1 here. See, total length minus the position of dot from the left, which is 5. Total length is 4, 5. Then we have Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is 11, right? 11. 11, 5 plus 6, 17. Total is 17. So 17 minus 5, 12. 12. So from the back at the 12th position, split it. Yeah, I hope it is clear to each one of you. A little bit of practice will help you. Now I can repeat the formula here. Then repeat the formula here. Now I'll also put this into your chat box. Okay. You can just change this. See if it is in some other cell, you can put that cell value, change this and use the same formula in case you are not able to do it. See, now this formula is so important because mostly we do left split, right split most of the time in a complex data set. This is just an example. Okay. When you get a real data set, you'll have to use it in some way like this one. All right. Hmm. Moving ahead. Moving ahead. We'll go to the transpose. Transpose is a very simple thing. Suppose your data is in row and column format and you want it into column and row format. You want to reverse the order of it. So for that
So,
purpose, you have something called as transpose.
sir,
Yes,
sir, yesterday's
yes.
problem also had a at Gmail at the end.
Oh, wonderful. So we'll have to split it twice.
Twice, yes.
Yeah. You mean to say this, right? Yeah. So
Y-
we'll have to split
Yes,
it
sir, the double
twice.
split.
We'll have to split it twice. First, we have to split from at the rate, and then we'll have
And
to
then
split it
from
from here. You have to split it twice. So how can you do it? You can append this same formula, and you can make a bigger formula out of it. Okay, formula within formula. So maybe I can do something like this. I can use this formula. First, do a left split of at the rate. Okay, and then do a right split of this. Right. So you can try this. All you need to do is, so I'm using this same formula. Now here my value is C22. So I'm just updating it manually. C22, C22, and C22. Okay. Now what I'll do here is, yeah, I'll first do a left split, comma, find. And what am I finding here? I'm finding at the rate, right, within this text, right? So first do a left split, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then within the left split, after the left split, do a right split. Yeah. So you can, something like this also you can do. 1, 2, 3. Or separate also you can do it. First do a left split and then, not this. Separately also you can do. Now it is all about simple logic application. how you want to split it. You want to create one formula nested, or you want to separately split it up. Now it's all matter of your common sense. At the rate within this -1, and then again you split it up. Now it is in this format, and you can combine these two formulas together, and you can make a one big formula, which we usually do. Many of the time formulas are this big, huge cell big, that big formula we put many of the times if required. Okay, all right, I hope that solves the problem. Depending on your data set, have a look at the data set. So many formulas are there. Use your common sense and apply. Acha, there is something called as autofill also. Yeah, this I forgot to tell you. Okay, autofill. It's something called as autofill. Suppose this data is there. All right. Now here you type Nancy. Okay. Now here, can you see automatically Excel is AI enabled. So see, Andy automatically detected. Right? Can you see? Yeah, last name. First you put it up Smith. For second, when it's just type N, it will automatically find out rest of the things. This particular feature is called as flash fill. Flash fill. Okay, you can find this option here at the home, right? Home, and then fill and flash fill option. This option is missing. You can enable any missing option from here. Yeah, in case some of the options are missing, you can always search those options and uh, see why that option is missing. For example, developer option, all these options are missing, right? Flash fill. This is also something you can use. It's much easier, but you should know how to do it by formula, because flash fill will not help you everywhere. For example, here you put Ajit, right? So here, when you just type simple Calvin, see here it is not working for you, right? Here it is not working for you. So flash fill option is a good option, but it's not useful all the time. Okay, it might not work all the time for you. All right, so did you understood how the flash fill works? Very simple. Type Nancy, and next time just type A. It will automatically try to find out the corresponding values, right? Just put enter. This is called as flash fill. Suggestion that is given by Excel itself. Another quick way of doing things. All right. Any doubt about multiple ways of doing splitting of the data set? This is most important because your data set will always be khichdi like this. Like for example, I showed you here, right? It's a big khichdi like this, always. And this data is meaningless for you because you cannot find out how, which state it is, how, which country it is, which state it is, and many other things. It's not possible unless and until you remove and extract meaningful things out of it. This is how you'll do it. Done. Any doubts? Left split, right split, text to column, autofill, fill, find length. 7, 8 things we saw. Shall I move further? Any doubts? Can I move further, my dear friends? आगे बढ़े? पिक्चर तो बहुत बड़ी है अभी. Okay, but slow and steady wins the race. Shall I move ahead? Any doubts? Then, all right. Then comes transpose. Would you like to practice it for some time? See, if you have this Excel sheet, you can try it on your own. I can wait for you for 60 seconds. Shall I'll wait for 60 seconds. You can try these things. See, Andy Dalla, and then we'll put Jan. See, autofill. Autofill. This is another thing that you can use. All right. Alternatively, using formulas also you can do it. So see here some formulas and some example set is given to you. It is expected that after this session is over, you please look into these formulas and complete this worksheet. This sheet is a practice sheet for you. Plus additionally, I'll give you some more practice sheet. Okay. Next one is transpose. Now data, see, if I'm making the data, I will make my data in whatever way I want. क्या कर लोगे भाई? Right? Which happens all the time. I extracted data from some source and the data is like this: item, bread, donut, etc. Amount 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want it in this format where all the items are here and all the amount is here, interchanging rows and column. This is called as transpose, and this is also something that you would require many of the time. So how do we do it? There are 3 to 4 ways of doing it. Way number one, just copy it, come here, and there is something called as special paste. Yeah, something called as special paste. Copy, give it a second. Allow me 10 seconds, please. My Excel is behaving drunk. Mhm. Yeah, all right. Copy it, right click, special paste. Now there is a lot of special paste here. Okay, here within this special paste, there is something called as transpose. Yeah, if you can see, there is an vertical and a horizontal arrow mentioned here, called as transpose, right? Transpose. If you click on it, see what happens. Column became rows, rows became column, interchanging of the position. Okay, there's shortcut for it. Shortcut is Control Alt V. Control Alt V. Okay, the tip is mentioned here. And then what do you want to do here? It will tell you different types of pasting that is available, right? So you would say, okay, I want to do a transpose. Control Alt V, and then I want to do a transpose. Done. Same thing happened. Control Alt V. The formula is mentioned here for you. Transpose. Done. Okay. Now I can do the same thing by using formula as well. Transpose. Let's select the array. Yeah, can you see here? Transpose and select the array which you want to shift it. right? This is the formula, transpose formula. So instead of doing it like using copy paste, sometimes you can also put it into the formula. Sir, but when already there is such a simple option available, why we need to use formula? Because suppose you are writing down a formula where you are doing left split, right split, and then you have to do a transpose. So in order to automate everything, you should know how to do it by formula also, right? Multiple operation can be easily combined. Okay. Another thing is write down transpose, select the array, okay, and press Control Shift Enter. Hmm? This is also one way of doing it. And then you expand the particular type of a column. Transpose, select the array, yeah, Control Shift Enter. This will again give you the same result. Done. All the three methods, I'll give you 60 seconds. Please try this. I'm on the fourth sheet. Sheet number 4, transpose. Yeah, once done, just let me know. If I'm going little fast, please let me know, my dear friends, so that I can go a little slow. Yeah, just let me know when you are done. Just do a quick practice. Try it from your end. If it is not working, just let me know.
Sir, so
Mhm.
what do the curly braces do?
So when we talk about curly braces, yeah, here. So curly braces symbolizes that it is a set of values. That's what curly braces would symbolize. Okay. So it is a complete table here, right? With rows and columns. So curly braces would say, okay, this is a complete set that you are using. That's where you'll use curly braces.
So where are they needed? Like,
So
where can
it
they?
is that is needed mostly into some formulas when you are trying to. So there is a big formula where you are comparing complete table with another table, big tables. So in order to include the complete table, curly braces are important. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So whenever, see, this is basically a complete, it's a big data, right? Complete array of data. So in such type of things, you'll use it. Yeah, we'll wait for some time, and I would request everybody to just practice it a little bit before I move further. I might, I think I'm going a little fast. Yeah, once you have done practicing these 3 to 4 things, just let me know, then only I'll move further. Done? Shall I go ahead? Any doubts? Feel free to ask as many questions. Feel free to ask. Share your screen also when and where required, guys. Okay. Then I think keeping time considering, let's move further. Yes. Sorting and filtering. Okay. Sorting and filtering. Acha, there are many types of errors that comes into an Excel. There are some 12 types of error. So you should know different types of error and how to handle it. That is something we'll see in advanced training module. Okay, there are many types of error. There are many things, or there are things where we can solve errors using AI in Excel, and there are error handlings and many other things that are available, which we'll see later on. Now, see, I did my data cleaning, filtering, etc., and everything. Okay, now I want to sort and filter the data. Okay, this is very important. How to sort and filter the data so that I can put my data into a meaningful format, which is what my analyst would do. Like I said, job of the analyst is put the data into meaningful format. Okay, unless and until I don't put it into a meaningful format, right, it is not going to be possible for me to analyze it properly. Correct? Yes. Okay. All right. So there are 2 to 3 ways of sorting and filtering a data. Okay. First of all, this is the data. Okay. Now, if you see this particular type of a data, here, if you select any of the column, okay, there are 2 to 3 ways. I'll tell you all the 2 to 3 ways. Okay. Firstly, go to home, click here, sort the data from A to B, A to Z, or Z to A, right? Depending upon which criteria you want to set it up. So automatically it will go first column, second column, and it will sort it whichever way you want it to sort. You can go Z to A also, so it will sort it into an opposite way, starting from the first column. Starting from the first column. Okay. Now it will also help you to sort this data in any customized way. Okay, and sorting is one of the most important things in data analytics. Okay, now I want to sort my sales figure now. I want to sort my sales figure now. So what I'll do here is I will go to custom sort October, right? October. Cell value, cell color. So sort by value, color. I can sort it by any way. Okay, so I want to sort it by its value. Sort it from smallest to largest or largest to smallest, or I can also customize it. Okay, sort it from January to February, sort it from February to March, sort it from Monday to Tuesday. I can customize it in multiple ways. I can add my own list also, and I can say, okay, sort it by salesperson name. So I can add here names of the salesperson or country. So I can customize it in many ways. So I'll say here, okay, let me just sort it from largest to smallest. See, again, the data changed. Okay, this hash 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 means there is a big value, it is not able to fit. So what I'll do here is I'll just increase it. The hash 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 will automatically go. See, I applied another filter. Okay, all right. So one filter I applied where I said October value should be in increasing or decreasing, decreasing order. I can add levels of sorting. First this, and then I would say, okay, I want November value from smallest to largest. So it will give me first October who made highest, and then November who made lowest. Hmm? First and then second filter add. So see here you can see the result. Okay, let me just zoom in a little bit. So what it's telling me, October who made the highest and then lowest in November. So this gentleman made 90,000 sales in October. This also made 90,000 sales in October, but then in November he made lowest out of these two. Then this was 80, then he made 40. So first this sort will happen, second this sort will happen. So sorting of data is one of the most important thing. Rearranging data based on alphabets, based on characters, or based on any customized sequence. Yeah. Okay. What is this? If you're sorting this, suppose you say I want to arrange November value from lowest to highest. What about other values? What about other values? Should that also get sorted accordingly, or only this will shuffle up? Yeah.
For
So
expand, it
all,
should be sorted.
yeah, everything should get sorted. This value should see salad is 35,000, so salad should always be with 35,000. If I only change this up and down, if I'll do it and this stays, so value will become mismatched. So expand, always do that. Okay, expand the current selection. So see expanding, because these all values are associated, right? ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हम कि यही कॉलम को हमने ऊपर नीचे कर दिया और बाकी वैल्यूज वही की वही। अगर ये चेंज हुआ तो करस्पॉन्डिंग साइड की वैल्यूज भी ऊपर नीचे होनी चाहिए। So always use expand the selection. By default, it will do the same. So first level sorting, second level sorting, I can add n level of sortings like this. But there is some restrictions. How many number of sorting you can do? Something around 64 levels ka sorting you can do. Okay, it is not limitless. You can only sort some 64 levels of sorting. So you can sort your data in 64 different levels. Right? See, and I am deleting everything. Sorting your data is very important. Okay, so because what will happen is when you will give the data, see, first my data engineer will get the data and then it will pass it to my data analyst. Okay, data analyst will see इसमें से कितना, see, as a data engineer I don't give a damn what's there in the data. Okay, मुझे बोला गया है get the data, I will go and get the data बस. अब उसमें क्या लिखा है, क्या नहीं लिखा है, डमी लिखा है, गलत लिखा है, सही लिखा है, आई डोंट गिव अ डैम. My job is to get the data, and I got the data. Here it is. Now it is the job of the data analyst to figure out कि ये data meaningful क्यों नहीं है. उसको meaningful बनाने का काम data analyst का है. उसको सही फॉर्मेट में डालने का काम डेटा एनालिस्ट का है. उसको मीनिंगफुल बनाना डेटा एनालिस्ट का काम है. उसको स्प्लिट करना, रीअरेंज करना, शॉर्ट करना, फिल्टर करने का काम डेटा एनालिस्ट का है. After doing all of those things, they will give the data to business analyst. Business analyst will produce reports and study reports, and based on those reports we will take decisions. Yes, so that's the flow that is happening. So you can choose either of the three roles. You can always switch to data engineering. कुछ काम नहीं है, सिर्फ data collect करना है, which people are doing. Or you can do a role of data analyst, right? No other work. Data scientist is something who knows everything. Then what is data science? Data scientist is someone who knows everything. Okay. So data analyst will put it into say all the formats. So what we are doing right now is data analysis. Okay. Putting into the correct format, and we'll produce some reports and chartings also. Then my business analyst will sit. Business analyst will do nothing but analyze the graphs and reports and visualize things. Right here, background, if you can see here, this is what my business analyst will do. Right, something like this. This, all these things. Okay. So what does data scientist do? Data scientist is somebody who has all the three skills. Right. You can only go with one of these fields, but I would advise go with all the fields. Be an expert of everything. Okay. Anyway, they are all interrelated. Right. So now data analysts are called by many. Data scientists uh, are known by many other names also. And if it is all about domain. For example, डॉक्टर ही है ना, but ऑर्थोपेडिक बोलते हैं. Then sometimes we call them ophthalmologist. है तो डॉक्टर ही, right? Similarly, there are data scientists, but then there are data scientists working for economy. There are data scientists working for finance. There are data scientists working for, say, an IT company, right? काम वही है, काम वही है. So those who are specifically in BA economics, this field is absolutely relevant for you. Not only relevant, over a period of time, you will see that there is something called as economic data scientist. There is something called as economic data analyst. I don't know if you are aware of these roles or not. This is the future of economics, even for stats and maths, right? Your traditional job roles are going to die now. Whatever job roles you have up till now as an economist are going to die. It has evolved into economic data science, economic data analyst, right? Same job, but different tools and different way of doing it, much better way and much accurate way of doing it. So it's a wake up call also for each one of you, right? If you are not aware of these things, get on board, guys. If you go to the traditional job roles, you will get good salary. But if you go to the new age job roles, you will get great salary, and you will last longer in the market, right? That's the difference. That's the difference. And it barely takes some efforts. It is easier than your, I'm pretty sure that is much easier than your curriculum. X level of shorting I can do. Okay. Similarly, I have something called as filter. I have something called as filter. Select your data, click on filter, click on filter. So when I do filter here, a small drop box comes, a small gray button comes here. So I can filter things. So here what I'll do is, okay, I want to only see bakery. So I'll search bakery here. Bakery is selected, add. Filtering is temporarily removing data which I don't necessarily need it. I can filter it and I can sort it also at the same time. Yeah, both the things I can do. Sorting, filtering. Suppose if you want to remove your filtering and sorting, what you'll do, just right click here, filter, clear the filter. See all the filter removed. Right? Or from here also there is a clear option. You applied lot of filters, you can clear it out. If you want to remove sorting, just come here and delete all the sorting. Okay, right? Sorting and filtering. Now suppose I made a red mark here. I can do sorting by color also. Sort only red things. See, only red things got sorted. Okay, similarly I can do filtering also. So I suppose I did a filtering here. Yeah, this filter by red. So I can filter by its value, filter it by font color or background color. I can do that. Why, sir, this color is important? Sometimes, suppose there is some values which you feel is you need to highlight it or track it. So you can color it up for tracking such values. Sorting and filtering. Yeah, wonderful things. So here's, if you can see, sort by color. This also you can do. So I'll show you one real case study that I was doing. Yeah, just give me a second. Hmm. Okay, I'll open up a data set. See, can you see here? Now let me clear it up. Okay. Allow me to open another sheet. Yeah, see. So this data we extracted from the Ministry of Health website, right? I extracted state from it. If you can see this data, I extracted state from this. I extracted the institute name from this. I extracted which type of a quota is available, course name, and then from a different website altogether I extracted what is the bond, how many beds are there, what are the stipends, etc., and the category. This is done by connecting multiple data sets. Okay, and then now I might have to do a lot of filtering. For example, I just want to know Delhi में कौन से institutes है तो ये रहा, right? Then I want to say, okay, out of which um, sort everything. I'll clear it up again. I would say sort everything based on the stipend, how much money is getting paid. So I will click here Z2A. So see 70K, 70K first target. Then I want to say ki, okay, I want to get into a hospital where money is also good and number of beds is also good. So I'll come here and I will again apply a filter here. See, both the things here. Okay, so I can come here, I can customize it and I will say, okay, stipend, cell value, Z2A. First, my first criteria is money should be good. My second criteria is a number of beds should be also more. More the number of bed, good experience, or we can expect to have better facility at the hospital. So I'll say okay. So can you see 70K, 300 beds, 70K. Here my data is missing. Okay, what if the data is missing? That also is something we deal in data science, but now that concept I will cover it up later on. How to deal with missing data, biased data, fake data, how to eliminate those things. Those are all advanced concepts, right? So see, multiple filtering I have done. Then I might have to do sorting also. See, I did filtering. I can also add filter like whether this institute is government or not. So I can add multiple sorting here, and then I may go for filtering. Okay, I want to check Maharashtra. So there are two hospitals in Maharashtra. Sorting and filtering. Okay, you should be an expert of sorting and filtering, right? Understood? Okay. Yeah. Okay, see, this is one more beautiful function that we have done is, can you see every time I change some sorting and filtering, it will give me a total calculation. How many values are there? Can you see this? See, automatically it is giving me the count, right? Now this is called as subtotal. Subtotal. How to find out subtotal of all the columns and rows that are available. So subtotal of B colon B. So it will calculate all the rows that are available here, but there is a header also called as institute, right? So that is why I have added -1. So it will ignore the first row and then it will count all the bottom rows. And then it will give me all my count. Every time I do any operation, it will give me the count, how many number of data set is there, right? 34. So these all things are done by the analyst. All right. I gave you an example, real life example where you can use it. There are many data sets which will pass on to you, but today let's just try to understand the basic concepts. Done? Any doubts? Any doubts, my dear friend, before I move to the next part, which is also the most important thing called as tables.
Sir, could you please go over that function again?
The subtotal function.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is an interesting function. This function is called as subtotal function. Okay, so calculate the subtotal of all the rows. So the code for the all the rows is 103. This is a small hack. Okay, 103. All the rows. All the rows of B column. B is to B. Okay, so this is what it will give. 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, you can use it. It's an interesting thing. So I like to
So,
see.
so
So what I used to do is, what I want is I want to see. Yeah, you can use it something like this also. Concat, you don't need it. Without that also, this formula will work. You know why I have used concat? Joining two text.
so right now it's giving the count of the rows, right?
Yes, count of the rows. Total count of the rows, and I did -1
Why
to
so?
ignore the header. To
Ah,
ignore
the
the header.
header row.
Yeah,
Header.
to ignore the header, -1. Concat is to join two text. So here, I think I was trying to do this total, comma this. Here. See, I was trying to use this and then maybe I did not complete the thing. Here. Concat. Concat, this is how you can split things. You can add two things also by using concat. Concat means concatenation, means joining two things. So this word I am joining with this. It is an optional thing. If you want, you can add. Otherwise, there is no issue. You can simply remove it. It is
So
not.
subtotal is like a grouped function. It has all the other functions in some function code somewhere. Many, right?
Yes, 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 yes. That's what subtotal will do. So, what subtotal does is, um, it will see how many number of rows are there, right, and find out its complete total one by one. So now here I'm using the code 103. Okay.
For
So
count.
what one, yeah, yes, for counting it one by one. Okay. So what subtotal does it see, whatever cell that is visible or highlighted here, right? These all cells are visible, right? There is no values here. Okay, there is no values here. So it will ignore those values. Now when you do subtotal, it will ask you, after doing the subtotal, what do you want? Now, after doing subtotal, what do you want? Do you want to find average of this? Subtotal will find out how many cells are populated with some values. So say 50 cells are populated. So what do you want? Average of those, or just want count? Count A is it will ignore blanks. Count A is if there is any blank value, it will ignore it. Minimum, maximum. So what I'm using is count A. I want simple count, and if there is no value, ignore it. I only want rows which has got some value. That's why
Sir,
the
is there
shortcut.
any advantage to using subtotal instead of these individual functions
See,
instead of
when
directly using count?
there is always an there is always an advantage. See, when you say count, yeah, and you select this, so subtotal. What subtotal does is subtotal is a dynamic thing, right? Basically, whenever you do subtotal, dynamically it will see how many fields are available and how many fields are not available. Now, when I do this count, this to this, and if I apply any filter, right, this formula will not work, right? That is gone because I applied count on some specific range, and that range is now gone. Correct? Understood? So I applied it
Yes,
on
sir,
B2,
understood.
B2. That is gone now. So there is no point of using count. That is why I'm using subtotal. Subtotal will only see how many cells have value and how many of them do not have the value from a complete list, right? So subtotal is just a smarter way of doing it when you are doing a lot of filtering and sorting. No matter how much filtering and sorting you will do, it will give you the exact values. Minus one you need to do in case of header, right? Understood? Yeah, I hope that clears it up. Okay. I have also put up this formula in your chat box. So guys, when you actually work on real data set, story changes a lot, and it becomes very challenging to attain simple task also, and that's where your practice helps you out. So here do a subtotal, and then which function do you want to calculate? Average, count, mean, median, max, product, standard deviation, all of those things are available here. Yeah, all these things are available. Mean, max, median, all these things we'll see in a later stage. These are all statistical functions. Yeah, mathematical and statistical function. We'll see later on. So this is where, see, I gave you a real data set where we use it. Data sets sometimes are more complex. Sorting and filtering is something you need to do a lot. Okay, done. You can practice this. I'll just close these things. Yeah, so here, you want to sort the data, expand the selection. So see, data got expanded. Yeah, one by one. All right. So I'll move to the tables part, but before that, we'll take a short break. Yeah, will that be all right? We'll take a short break and then we'll move to tables, drop downs, how to analyze. We'll see some charting options. We'll see something called as pivot tables, and then we will discuss what next. What next? This is basics. What next? Right? After a break of 5 minutes. Don't leave the meeting. You might find it difficult to join back again. 5 minutes of short break will take. The moment I'm back, my camera will turn on. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome back, guys. Chalo, we'll get started with the next part of the session. So, in the next part of the session, see, now you know how to split the data, you know how to filter it, arrange it, everything you have done. Okay, you have put it into a good format. So, what we advise you here is once you feel that you have the required data, the next thing that you should do is convert it into something we call as tables. Because when we convert your data set into tables, table supports a lot of inbuilt functions and it becomes easy for you to sort the data and to filter the data and to do certain operations which are supported by tables. Tables is just a special format in which you can put your data. Okay. So whatever data set you have, how to convert it into a table. Suppose this data set you have. Okay. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Yeah, this data set you have. Okay. Now what we expect from you is select this data, go to data, go to insert, right? Go to insert and click on table. Now it will ask you, does this table has got a header? So if it has a header, yes, it has a header. If it does not have a header, say it does not have a header. So my data has an header. Always keep a header. That is compulsory. I will say okay. Now this data set that I have is converted into a table. So sir, what is the benefit of table? There are many benefits of a table. Benefit number one, uh, visually table can be formatted in many different ways. So your data can be represented very good, in a very good way, right? So you can choose whichever color suits you. Okay, whichever is soothing to your eyes. For example, I pick up this color. Okay, sir. What else? Yeah, this table you can click anywhere and give a name to this table. So I would say sales table. Okay, I can say sales table. All right. Okay, sir. What else? What else? Okay. So whenever you select a table, I selected this entire table. At the bottom, can you see this small button that have popped up? This button is called as quick analysis button. It is supported only by tables. So when you click on this button, it gives me a lot of different ways in which I can format my data, create totals, subtotals, and also create charts with just few clicks, just like this. For example, I want to do some formatting. So I want color bar. So can you see the values which are very less values are red. High values 2 lakhs have become green. So this is called as data bar, right? So your job is also to format the data into a readable thing. Otherwise, when you will give this data to your business analyst, if he is not able to read the data, how will he make decisions? So you have to make it color coded, put nice colors. So quick analysis. This is called as quick analysis. Data bar, icon set, see icon set. Yeah, this value is decreasing, this value is increasing, right? So these things is supported by the table, called as quick analysis. Not only that, my dear friends, I can create charts dynamically, very easy, right? So here, can you see the chart is ready? Sum of all the October sales by department, by department. This chart is ready. Okay. So this also you can do. Do you want to find out sum? Click on it. Sum of all the sales. Definitely you cannot do sum of categories. Sum of all the sales is here. You want count? It will give you count. You want average? It will give you the average. So this is benefit of converting your data or your array into table. Right? You can perform multiple operations. So first thing that I always advise is whenever you have a data set, suppose this data set is there, right? Is this a table? No, it is not a table. So first thing is you convert it into a table. Okay, how do you do it? Select the data, control A. How do you select the complete data? Control A, right? Go to insert and insert table, or shortcut control T. Control T is the shortcut. Same thing. Does your table has a header? Yes, sir. My table has a header. Select it. Now this is into a table. I can do sorting, filtering, change the color, right? I can do quick analysis. I can produce charts and many other things dynamically. Okay, now let me go back to my original data set. See, the reason I'm using a simple data set is for your better understanding. Okay, now this is my table. Okay, in the table, name of the table is given. You can also resize the table. Sometimes you have already created a table. Okay, this table, imagine this table is already created. Okay, suppose this table is already created, and then you added some more values. Some more values were here. Okay, now this thing is not the part of this particular table, correct? So how do you resize your table? You can always shrink it and you can expand it. Go to insert. Yeah, here table design, call as resize table. Once you click on resize table, you can always increase its size. Yes, always increase its size. But before you do it, you have to remove this particular line. This is not needed. So you can always increase the size, decrease the size of your table and resize it by simply using resize table. Here, can you see this? Yeah. Just select the column. whichever you want to increase the size. You can also decrease it. This is required if you added certain value later on in your table. Then this is another thing. Okay, moving ahead. Moving ahead. Removing
Sir,
duplicate values. Yes.
sir, how did the arrows come?
So I did something. So I did a formatting. What formatting I did? I selected the table,
Conditional.
conditional format. Okay. Conditional formatting, I can set directional.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Here.
Yes, sir.
So see, data, I got the data, but then the data should look visually good also. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for my business analyst to study it, whose job is to study it. So as an analyst, I will put it into, I'll format it. So this conditional formatting is there. You can highlight a cell, you can set a lot of rules, right? So format a cell based on its value. So highlight all the values more than 10,000 and make it a red color. So I can do all kind of coloring based on many logics possible. One, two, three, four. I can also set gradients and solid bars. So can you see this blue color that have come up? This will tell us simply by looking at these colors, we'll understand, okay, this is a small value. This is a large value. This is the highest value in the cell. In this particular table, this is the highest value. So visually we'll understand. Similarly, we have icon set also, right? Increasing, decreasing, right? There's star rating. So we can have star ratings also. 5 star, 4 star, likewise. Can you see the star? See, full star, half star, icon set, visualization, right? So I can color my data based on any condition or any rules. So I can create my rules also. Format cells containing a particular type of a value. Format all the duplicate values. So all the duplicate values, yeah, it's here, all the duplicate values. So all duplicate values should be in red color. Yeah. So there is no duplicate, all values are unique here. So that way I can format it in many different ways. So many rules you can create. So see, these many rules I have applied up till now. Then I can delete all these rules. First I did gradient, then I did icon set, then I did data bar, then I did star icon set, right? All of these things, all these conditional formatting I have applied. So this particular thing is something that you will be using it. Okay, which is also available here from this quick analysis. Okay, when I have my table, there is also called as slicer. If I select slicer, this thing will pop up. So you want a slicer based on, say, department. When we click OK, all the department slices or options, unique options are available here. So if I click bakery, automatically it will show me only bakery, deli, meat, right? This is called as a slicer. It's act like sorting, right? But it is dynamic. So again and again, if you have to check, okay, what is bakery, what is this? So this slicer you can always use. See, slicer. This is called as a slicer. Okay, you can resize its height and keep it somewhere. Okay, here you can keep it. Slicer. You can have multiple slices. You can clear it also. Okay, sorting. So for example, I have a very big data set like this. Hmm. So I can use a slicer based on anything that I want. Maybe state. Maybe state. So here pin code is there. right? Slicer. Yeah, just a better way of doing things. Okay. Clear why tables are important. A table are must. The moment your data is ready, please do a conditional formatting, put it into a table, style whatever is possible, and then you are all set and ready. Then you are all set and ready. Okay. Tables. Any doubts, my dear friend? Can I move ahead? Done? Would you like to give it a try
Sir,
in your Excel sheet?
sir, that department function, that thing to the right,
Mhm. This is called as a slicer. Okay.
slicer.
So this is my table, right? Select the table. Just click anywhere in the table. Table will get selected. Go to the table design. Hmm? Now I can do many operations with my table. Okay. One of the operations that I would like to do here is insert a slicer.
Got it, sir. Remembered, I
Okay.
remembered.
Insert a slicer. Slicer, as the word suggests, will slice your data set. Why do you need it? Many of the times, you have to do filter again and again, again and again, again and again, sorting again and again, again and again for certain things, which is a tedious job. This makes your job very easy. Category based. See, all the categories are here. I can insert as many slices I want. Only bread, only bread, only chicken, only dessert, only fruit, right? If you, all of the options, all the three things. Take this finger, put it on control, and select multiple options. You can select multiple options. You have to take this finger and press control and then click slices. So we do use slices when I know I have to again and again sort certain things. So I'll do that. Hmm? And I can easily clear it up here also. See, all clear are all done. Slicer. Done. Shall I move ahead? Number seven. Number seven. You can try it on your own. If you want, I'll wait for you. Okay. So you go to many websites, right? Here, when it is saying, okay, select the month. So there is a drop down here. Select January, February, select October. Why there is a drop down? Why I cannot see here? It is asking me to type the year. Hmm? Now I'm trying to type year 5000 and 1. I'm not able to type it. I'm trying to type 6 years, 6 digit or 5 digit year. It is not allowing me to type it. Here for month, I want to type my name, but there is no possibility that I can type my name here instead of month. There is 12 preset defined options. I have to select one, right? It is forcing me to give input in certain specific format so that the user is restricted to enter invalid, garbage value, or meaningless values. Yeah, it is restricting. Now this is a website, and these magic is done by using some programming. Similarly, in my Excel, suppose I ask you, okay, you give me the company balance sheet and you start typing anything. You may type by human error also, you might type invalid things, right? So to restrict invalid entry of data into your Excel sheet, we have something called as data validation. Okay. So all you need to do here is go to data, yeah, click on data, and you will find this icon. This icon has got a tick mark and a cross mark. That means it is telling you which is right, which is wrong. Okay, this is called as data validation here. Can you see data validation? So I can restrict as an analyst. My job is also to save my data from people trying to destroy it. I click on data validation. Okay. Yeah. So now I can validate various different types of data. I can validate number. For example, you say age. Hmm, age. So what would be my validation? It should be a whole number, and it should be minimum 18 years and maximum 60 years, right? It could be one of my criterias, correct? So I will set the validation criteria, and then I will set some message, a relevant message, right? Message should be relevant. Okay. Now, what if my user, so this is message. So when I click here, it will tell me, ki, okay, please input valid age between 18 and 60 years. ठीक है. What if my user is trying to input an illegal value? So you can tell him three things. Number one, stop, right? Stop. So when you say stop, this red button will come. Or you can say, I'm giving you warning, don't input illegal things. Or, bro, age, so just information, just an advice. Bro, age should not be more than 60 or should not be, uh, between 18 to 60, it should be there. So what type of error message do you want to show? So maybe I would want to give a warning. Maybe I'll say stop. Hmm? Give it a title, invalid age. Can you write down a message? And a message me, you can write down whatever you want. Enter value between 18 and 60 only. See, and you click OK. See, the first thing is when I click here, it is giving me a inform message, right? It give me a suggestion. What it is trying to tell you, input valid age between 18 and 60. Before I enter it, it is telling me, yeah, why it is coming, because here I had put up this input message. Okay, see, input message. Now let me try to put some illegal age, 15 years. The moment I type 15, yeah, it is telling me stop. Enter a value between 16 and only. So either I can retry it or I can cancel it. So this is a validation. See, it's just not allowing me. It's just not allowing me. Now here, suppose I don't do validation, I can enter anything. But here, the moment I enter anything, it will not allow me because see, it's just not allowing me. Yeah, because I have entered validation. So what all validation I can do? Whole number I can validate, decimal numbers, date and time I can validate. Text length should be not more than 15 characters, right? So for example, mobile number validation I can do. I can also customize or write down customized validation also. Understood? Depending upon what value you are trying to validate. Now, one of the beautiful validation technique is stopping the user from typing only and giving him a predetermined list. Okay. So here I'll do it. Validate a list. Right? Validate a list. In this list, I selected the list. I click to the source. It is telling me give the source of the list. And I will select the source. Hmm? Right? I can also put messages if I want. So let's just say I just put up a stop option. Click OK. Can you see there is a small arrow that have come here? Yeah. If you click on this arrow, see all these data is here. So you can only pick data from here and then just fill everything here like this. Hmm? See, if I try to enter anything other than this, what will happen? Invalid option. That means it is forcing me to select only these things. This is called as a list, right? Suppose you want a data set of a list of salesmen, right? You want fixed value. That value should not change no matter what. For example, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It is a fixed value. You cannot manually enter it. Why we do it? To stop invalid input of data into your database, right? Done. This is called as data validation. Another important thing that a data analyst should know. All right, would you like to give it a try? I'll wait for 60 seconds. Yeah, I'm on sheet number 7. I'm on sheet number 7. Validation. Right? Also try warning. What happens if you put warning? It'll give you warning type of a thing. This is a warning. When you say warning, it will just give you a warning and you may choose to keep the value. So you say you do want to continue? Yes. So it is in a warning, it is allowing me to keep the value. Right? But when you say stop, then it will not allow you to keep the value. So it depends on you. Depending on your situation, depending upon your data set, what do you want? Do you want to just give the warning or or you just don't want to allow them? Up to you. Then 60 seconds, guys. Give it a try. Try it from your end, then we'll slowly move further. At least try the list. flash fill is here in the data column. Flash fill. All right. Can I move ahead? Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, we already saw how to do a quick analysis, right? Okay. Next is pivot tables. We'll discuss about pivot tables and then we'll discuss about chart and then we'll see some more advanced functions and formulas, right? In next 30 minutes, we'll try to cover up as much as possible. We'll extend this session by 15 minutes. I hope that is okay with everyone. Right? Yeah. Now there is something called as pivot tables. There are 2 to 3 things. If you say I'm an analyst, then it is mandatory that you should know these things. As an analyst, you should know what is pivot table. As an analyst, you should know what is lookup and other things. So pivot table is the most important thing because using pivot table only you can do analysis, right? See, understand this. Look at this data set. It's huge, and trust me, this data set is this data set is nothing, right? I'll show you sometime later on real data sets which are very huge. Now, so many data set, you have got only two small eyes. How will you analyze it? Is it possible? Paul, see, there is human limitation, no? So many data, so many columns, so many rows. How will you analyze it? It's gonna become very difficult for you to analyze it, right? So what we do here is we have a table here with certain number of rows and columns. Okay. So what we do here is we can virtually create subset of this data, original data, break it into parts, right? This same data set can be broken into subtables, and each one of these can be studied separately. Each one of these can be studied separately. You want to suppose study region wise, sales wise, country wise, product wise, GDP wise. So different views of the big data set is called as pivot tables. Is this clear what we are trying to do? Pivot table. So I'll show you how pivot table works. It's really interesting, and every organization use pivot tables to analyze the data. No pivot tables, no analysis. Analysis is incomplete without pivot tables. Okay. So how do we do it? Very simple. This is your table, right? Right. This is your table. This has got date, time, product, its value. Click here, right? Click here. Right? Click on table design. Okay. Or click on insert. Select the table. Click on insert. And now two options are there: pivot table and recommended pivot table. Recommended pivot table will give you AI enabled suggestions. What type of a table can you create? So we'll do recommended pivot table. So here see two suggestions have come. Number one, it is saying amount by salesperson. You can make a table with amount of the salesperson. Second one, it is telling is amount by the product, right? So let me go with the salesperson. I am studying which salesperson is performing better. I'll select this and I will do OK. The moment I did OK, something new came up on my screen. This is called as pivot table analyzer. Okay. Now, out of everything in my data set, I have my salesman and the amount of sales the individual has done. Now, I can study this in many ways. How can I study it? I can study it number one by selecting the relevant columns. I can study it by putting filters. I can study it by selecting rows, columns, and what value I want to study. Five things combined together, and I can study this in multiple ways. Let's just have a look how we can do it. I'll say, okay, maybe filter it by, so I'll drag and drop it here. Filter it by salesperson. I want to know what was the sales of Anne. I want to know what was the sales of Aura. Okay, remove it. You want to filter it by date. Yeah, filter it by date. On which date, who got what, right? This I can do. Now, in the row, you want salesperson. So, salesperson is here. In the column, you also want products, right? Products. Which product was sold by whom? So, column you have defined, row you have defined, filter you have set up. Okay. Now, what value you are considering? I'm considering sum of the amount, right? You can change this value. How? You can go with count. How many beer did he sold? Average, mean, median, max, or product also. So I'm studying what type of a value. That also I can do. So see, by using these five options, I can study so many things. Okay, I can study so many things. Right? Product of amount. No. Let me change it. Sum of amount. Sum of amount. Now once I have studied my data in multiple ways and I can change all of these things, interchange everything. What will I do? I will produce different types of charts. Okay, so I can put different types of charts. Now there are 16 different types of charts: column chart, line chart, pie chart, bar graph chart, scatter chart, map chart, stock chart, radar chart, heat map chart, tree chart, sunburst chart. And I'm pretty sure you have no idea what does this chart mean and what is significance of each type of a chart. Every chart is designed specifically for a type of a data set. For example, you want to see and you want to compare between 2 year time lapse column chart. You want to compare two products, right? Same category, two things. Line chart. You want to see distribution. You want to see distribution. What percentage is distributed among what? Pie chart, right? Map chart. World map you can create using map charts. Stock, radar. Every map has got a significance, right? In the following up advanced charting session, we will see all of these things. Okay, chart itself is a big session. So here you can make charts, right? So I will select this chart, and sometimes there is combo. Last option is combo chart. Combo chart is where you can have multiple charts. See, I'm doing clustered chart. At the same time, I can also do a bar graph, right? Along with a line chart. Three charts together. That also is possible, right? Here I can filter it dynamically. See, amount, salesperson, just studying about aura. I can do all the types of filters. All right. What else can I do? Here also I can insert a slicer. Yeah, maybe slicer based on salesperson. Then automatically everything will slice. Hmm. Also select your pivot table again. There is something called as insert timeline. For timeline, you should have date in your data set. So when I select timeline slicer, can you see here on my screen? I can slice my data based on month. So if I say July, automatically data relevant to July will come. September, right? November, December, no data. Right? By month also I can do. By year also I can do. So here only 1 year data is there. Right? So this is called as time slicer or timeline. You can give it a different color. Slicer, timeline, pivot table. So you can study one simple data set in 100 plus ways. One simple data set. So this was such a simple thing. Imagine I have a complex data set. Maybe for example this. For example this. So I want to study. See, I want to study my data set by state or by bond, which hospital is forcing you to do a lot of bond, or by course name. So I have only two courses. I usually in medical field we have more than 30 to 40 courses. So that data set also I have. So what type of study you want to do? By stipend, how much money they are offering. So maybe I'll go with state. I want to see which state has got good medical facilities and which state has not. So I will study it by state. So I'll create a pivot table. So here, see, pivot table is here, right? So Arunachal 1, Karnataka 11, Tamil Nadu 6, Maharashtra has got only 2. Sad, right? Quite sad. So I want to suppose I want to say, okay, maybe I want to put course name also. See, course name. Now here, unfortunately, I have only one course. If there were multiple course, I would have got this course. Now this thing here is called as grouping. Can you see? This is called as grouping. It will automatically group your data. See, grouping, group selection. You can ungroup it also. Okay. Maybe I want to see stipend. Okay, how many of them are giving 35K? How many of them are giving 70K? Stipend. Right? I want stipend here. Okay. See, grouping. 25K ka this, 70K ka this. Delhi may 70K one college. Beds. I want to see number of beds. Right? See, this is the magic of pivot table. I hope you are able to visualize it. Right? Are you able to visualize sum of bed? And I can put filters, slicers, and everything. This is how you study a data set, right? And then alternatively, I will produce a lot of charts and reports. So here, I can go with map also. If it has got state and countries, there is maps also I can go with. All right. Then this is called as pivot table. So I took a bigger data set, right? But I demonstrated you on a simple data set also. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts, my dear friends? Pivot tables. This is the job of an analyst to create multiple pivot tables. Sometimes we create 50, 60, 100 pivot tables for one data set, trying to study the data from multiple angles and produce multiple reports. All these multiple reports and pivot tables, once we have set it up, we give it to business analyst. Business analyst will then produce a lot of reports. Okay, any doubts? Shall I move ahead? Hmm? You would like to give it a try? Why don't you give it a try? I'll wait for some time. Try to create pivot table and study it based on the product. You can study it in many ways. What you want to study depends on you or your organization requirement. So, my dear friends, this is just the beginning. We have a lot of following up session that will come up. So don't worry. Uh, in case there are certain things going a little fast, right? I'll give you many practice sets. So just relax. Be at the moment. Try to grasp as many things as possible. Done. I'll wait for a minute. Try these options. I hope you understood what pivot table is. Pivot table is analyzing the data set from multiple angles. Here, from a salesperson perspective, from product perspective, or I just showed you a beautiful example here, right, where I created a example and I was studying it from multiple angles, right? Number of beds depending upon the bond and many other things. Hmm? Right? And then if you want, you can clear it up. And you can keep a name of this pivot table and save it. So usually what I'm studying, so one pivot table should basically be used for studying one thing. We don't study 7, 8 things in one pivot table. All right, my dear friends. Right, two things before we end today's session. Okay, then I'll give you some instruction. What should you do next? So next is chart options. Okay, so here, whenever your table is set and ready, you click on insert, ask for recommended chart, and then there are a lot of charts that can be applied on this particular thing. Like I told you, each chart has got its significance. Okay, every chart has got its significance. What chart to use when, that we'll see in the advanced training session for Excel. Okay, this is important. As a business analyst, you should know what chart to produce. Not only what chart to produce, what chart uh, is basically referring to what and how to analyze a chart. See, like I said, human eyes cannot interpret this big of a data. Where did it go? This much big data, human eyes cannot interpret. It's not possible. We need some visualization, graphical representation, so that we can take decisions. सीईओ को ये थोड़ी ना दिखाओगे कि सर ये देख लो नंबर इतने सारे. सीईओ बोलेगा भाई ये क्या है? बोले सर डेटा है मैंने एनालाइज किया है. मुझे कहना क्या चाहते हो तुम? So you cannot take decision using this. You have to create a lot of charting options, right? So number one is AI enabled charting options, right? In the subsequent session, I will tell you what chart symbolizes what things. There are many charts you would have never heard of. You may have seen some of these charts in television. Television may not they give weather reports, or sometimes they give you this analysis on TVs many of the times, or many of the time in newspaper you will see analysis printed. So how that analysis is done, that we'll talk about. ट्री मैप क्या है, रेडार मैप क्या है, कहाँ यूज होता है, कब यूज होता है, we'll discuss. Okay, one by one. So this one chart is been created. Okay, see, this is also, see, highly customizable. Okay, you don't know how customizable these charts are, and they are dynamic also in nature. Then there is map chart also, which is another interesting thing. Suppose you write down India, Canada, USA, Australia, South Africa, Sri Lanka, right? You have country also here. So in such cases, insert map, insert map. So you'll see such type of an error message coming up, because connecting to map requires internet connectivity. So there is one small setting. Go to files, hmm, go to option, privacy setting, and just turn this on. Connected experience. Connected experience. Okay, files. I'll show you the setting again in case this issue is coming up. Files, more, option, files, more, option. General is there, default. Scroll down, go to privacy setting. Privacy setting, turn on connected experience. This one setting, you turn it on. Okay, this requires internet connectivity. All right, so what I'll do here is I'll again try it up, or a simple refresh will work. Insert map, this type of a map. Hmm. Uh, we'll try it again. We'll try it again. What I'll do here is I'll take out this data, put it separately somewhere, neat and clean. Yeah, and maybe I'll put some sales data here. Hmm, Sales, and I'll convert it into a table. Control T. Done. Control T. So number, maybe currency. Now we will try to create a table. You see, now it will load the table. See, can you see it? It will, see, world map data is loaded now. I accept. See, there is an I accept button that have come up. Do an I accept. See, refresh it. So this is called as a map chart. So depending upon the sales, can you see India, then South Africa, USA, Sri Lanka, all the relevant data is highlighted. This is called as simple map chart. Likewise, there are many charts, right, which we'll discuss in an advanced training session. Right? Wonderful, isn't it? All right. So I think with that, we'll summarize this session. We are planning to come up with some more advanced training program for you. I hope
Well,
these 2 days was meaningful for you and also an eye opener in terms of what really data and data analytics is playing role in your field and how you can build up a career. Just by doing these simple things, you can get on board with the multi-million dollar data industry, right? And you have no idea. See, this is nothing, right? What we have discussed in 2 days is nothing. But let me tell you, with this nothing also you can get a great job. And if you put some effort, sky is the limit for you guys, right? You don't need to go for mediocre jobs. You can always push for such high paying jobs and be the part of the industry 4 which is based on data. So just give me 4 minutes. Let me summarize. अब आगे क्या करना है भाई? ठीक है, आगे ये करना है कि we are planning some more advanced training programs for you. Okay, so what will happen in the advanced training program? In the advanced training program, right, we will discuss about lookup function, condition functions, function wizards, how to solve errors, right? There are many things that we have not yet covered up, right? Financial formulas, statistical formulas, advanced charting pivot options, advanced graph options. We will see all of those things one by one, right? Mean, median, max, stats के लिए what all things are required, prediction के लिए what all things are required. So for stats who are here in stats, we will get into stats for data science. Okay. Those who are into finance and economics, right? In the advanced, we have something called as finance analytics, which will come next. But finance analysts and whatever other things that I'm telling you is the carry forward of this session, right? So in a finance analysis, we'll do all kind of prediction, trend, confidence, how do we find out growth, and many other important things that you have studied in your economics. आपने इकोनॉमिक्स में ग्रोथ ट्रेंड जीडीपी मूविंग वैल्यूज ऐसे बहुत सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स पढ़े होंगे. वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स यूज कहाँ करने हैं और कैसे, that will get into economic analyst and finance analyst, which is going to be our advanced training session. For somebody who is from stats and maths, you can jump anywhere. Oh, you can jump anywhere. For you, we will get into the advanced statistical uh, stats for analytics, right? We'll get into that. So for economics people, we want you to learn little bit of stats because it is there. For stat people, see, you are in stats and maths, so obviously you will have to work with finance data, right? As a stats and math student, you cannot say ki I will not work on financial data, or you should be able to work with any data which is thrown at you, right? So this session is relevant for both of you. Also, there are many other advanced things. For example, what if analysis, right? What if analysis, it's an amazing tool for my business analyst, right? Which does a lot of predictions, scenario management, goal seek management, right? In stock market, have you seen, if the stock reaches 200 rupees, I want to sell it. Yeah, that's something we do it using goal seek. Okay, so every tool that you have seen on planet Earth is available here in this simple Excel sheet. Forecasting, right? I can do lot of forecasting in multiple ways, right? Prediction, कितना सेल्स करना है, कितना मैन्युफैक्चर करना है, कितना जीटीपी लेना है, lot of forecasting I can do right here from my Excel, right? So that is going to come up next. So next, what if analysis, forecasting, we have something called as lookup, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. That's something we'll do. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP is like a search. Okay. So here I want to search how many apples were sold. So I'll use a simple VLOOKUP formula. Okay, just to give you an example. VLOOKUP. What are you looking? I'm looking for this value, hmm, right? Or maybe I'm looking for apples, apple. Or I'll simply type it, search apples. Where should I search it? In this entire set. Okay. If I find the cells, what should I do? Then, sir, the second value after apple, that you return it. If I find apple, I want to know its amount. If you find apple, I want to know its amount, which is in the second column. So I would have to put second column. Result. Exact match or approximate match. अगर A भी दिख गया तो रिजल्ट आना चाहिए क्या? नहीं नहीं सर, एग्जैक्ट मैच होना चाहिए, राइट? सी 50. So we look up is search and find, which is a very important thing, which we'll see आगे. Don't worry, today don't worry, we'll see आगे. Search and find, because if I have a data set like this big, I need to do search and find. Otherwise manually कहाँ ढूंढते बैठेंगे हम, किधर क्या है? तमिलनाडु में इस ब्रांच में कितने लाख रुपए पैसे मिल रहे हैं, कैसे ढूंढोगे? कैसे ढूंढोगे? कितना फिल्टर लगाओगे? फिल्टर लगाया, 1000 रिजल्ट्स आया, फिर क्या करोगे? So direct hitting VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP again is going to come in the advanced training session, along with the financial analyst role, along with the stats for data science, right? These all things will come up in the next following up session. उसके बाद क्या? उसके बाद क्या? After all of these things are done, after all of these things are done, so I'll tell you what is the roadmap, how you should go ahead with the next one, right? First of all is your intermediate, and advanced training is there. In the advanced training, there is also something called as macros, macros and VB, right? That is also something. So that option is here. So I'm setting up the roadmap, guys. और आगे क्या क्या है? So here developer option. I will just turn it on. So this developer option. How to do automation? Automation in Excel. That is called as macros. There is some level of programming also, which is very easy for anyone, called as Visual Basics, right? Automation in, see, every time you will not be able to put so many formulas. Once you have created the formula, it should automatically apply everywhere. That is done by macros. That also we'll see in the advanced training session. Okay, all right. So next is advanced training session with all the features that I have talked about. Once this is done, there are a lot of case studies. Again, now see, this is all fine, what we have done in 2 days. I will give you some case studies that you need to solve. Real life case studies, industry problems. There, your actual talent will get tasted, and there you will know how actually to implement it. Right? Along with that, I'll give you some real life projects. Okay. For example, I'm currently working with an organization, right? And I have received a problem statement, and this problem statement was drafted by the CEO himself. It is one of the biggest finance company of India, right? So if you see this green things, yeah, this is marked by the CEO himself. He said, Ajit sir, इन सब चीजों के ऊपर काम करना है, and I'm going to train the CEO and all of their HODs in a batch of 3, possibly in October end or November starting. And these are the case studies that we have decided that we will do. Hmm? Tracking performance of onboarding of new employees of 6 months, right? Identifying 20% of the best talent for the future growth. ये स्टडी है पूरा, और दिस इज एन एक्चुअल थिंग ऑफ एन एक्चुअल कंपनी विच विल डू. इसका डेटा सेट ऑल्सो आई एम वेटिंग ऑन द डेटा सेट. Likewise, finance department. economic department, sales department. See, ABC analysis of existing agent and customers for creating a lifetime endurance. These all are the real thing in the industry. So if you are interested, give me your names. I'll talk to your faculty and we will enroll you for these training programs, which are amazing. And I can tell you, even if you pay money anywhere, you will not learn these things, right? Not possible. And you can take screenshot and you can try and search YouTube and whatnot you want to search. Impossible. Nowhere you will get all these things. No amount of chat GPT will help you. Just type this, hey chat GPT, I want to do this. Can you tell me how to do it? Chat GPT will say, अरे भाई रहने दे तू, ठीक है? So these all things we will do in an advanced session, right? Also, advanced session ये रहा एक. Then we'll solve case studies. Now this is for those who are interested. This is not open for everyone because it takes a lot of efforts and seriousness. Certainly, I will not put time if somebody is not serious, right? As you can see, the amount of people who joined up yesterday has reduced down to some percentage, correct? That means maybe half of them are not interested. So this is for those who are really interested. Advanced training, case studies, project. Okay, along with this, I might offer internship to final year students, right? This is on selection basis. It is not open for everyone. Only handpicked of you would be given an opportunity to work with actual industries and actual companies. Okay. After this, we will have Power BI. You guys have heard about Power BI? Yeah. One of the most demanding skill set in the industry as of today. That will be the next one. We will also have a look at how to use Tableau. Yeah, that also training would be very simple from start to end. Right? That also will cover it up. And then there are some more training programs that will follow up, right? All these training programs are very easy. You can attend it during your college time or during your holidays like this, with me, step by step. All right. So what I'm gonna do, my dear friends, is I'm gonna give you another Google Form link. Okay. Now this link is where I want your confirmation that number one, you are interested for this part. This is on that is something that we'll do on selection basis, right? You cannot opt for it, we'll offer you. Okay. Now we are also offering KC students a certificate program, right? Now what is this certificate program? I'll tell you. You complete this series of training program one by one, and after completing, you will be given certain assignment, and there would be one exam that I'm pretty sure you will be easily able to crack it. Okay, that will ascertain that you have certain level of skills. Once you have done this, you have attended all these training programs, finished the case study for which will help you, completed your assignment, and you have appeared for the certificate examination. So at the end of this, you will get an international certificate in analysis using Microsoft Excel. And then there are many such certificate programs that will carry forward. Why these certificate programs are important? These certificate programs are important for many reasons. Number one is, see, some people will just attend the training program for just the sake of it, for sake of attendance, right? Which is not meaningful. You might not fetch a job out of it. Okay. So certificate program will give you case studies, will give you assignment. There would be an assessment. Okay, and we will be given mentorship. All of this will ensure कि आपका एक लेवल का स्किल सेट आ गया है. Okay, which is expected by the industry. And then we will give you an international certificate which is valid all over the world. Using this certificate, skills to आ गए, you can also apply for jobs, right? very easy. This is an additional perk that you are getting uh, just because you all are KCIs. All right. For certificate examination, there is a small examination fees, but that examination fees is very simple. It's 400 rupees. Okay, for your registration. Your training programs are all free of cost. So you can opt for these certificate programs also. Okay, which I highly recommend. So step by step, we'll go forward one by one. I believe you guys have your examination coming up in the next month. So we'll connect as soon as your examinations are over. We'll get in touch with all your departments and come up with the next part of the training program, which is an advanced Excel, financial analyst program, stats for data science. Then coming up is Power BI, Tableau, and then few more other things that are coming up. If there is something you want to understand or you want to get a skill set developed in some specific type of a technology, you guys can make a request. We will form a batch and we will train you for the same thing. All these training programs are free of cost, and we will mostly schedule these things. Either we'll take permission from your institution to schedule it during your practical sessions or during your holidays, right? So that you don't, it does not hamper your academics in any way. All right, done. Any doubts? Any doubts? Any question? None? Yes, Dhruv.
Sir, for Power BI, I checked that
Mhm.
even Microsoft itself has one certification. So that, like, won't it be a, like, if
So,
I give
yes.
this certification and then someone else applies with a Microsoft certificate?
Mhm. Mhm. So, what is Microsoft certification, if I would say? So, Microsoft certification is they will charge you some amount of money. They might give you some video tutorials, one or two. You appear their exam. If you pass the exam, they will give you a certificate. Okay, you have this level of proficiency. Correct? That's what usually happens with most of all the certifications. So, here, what is important for you? Having the skills is important, or having the certificate is important? First priority is always have the skills, right? So develop all the skills, and then if you have a good international certification, it's an add-on, so that if somebody asks you, okay, uh, where did you get training from, where did you get certified from, so you can tell, okay, I've got certified from here, and I underwent a 50 hours live training session under mentorship of my trainer who has this profile and all, right? So they will give you, okay, wonderful. So that type of a training program is meaningful. Many of the time people, just read certain articles or go through some YouTube videos and they say, okay, I know things. See, there are three things, Dhruv. There is knowledge, right? There is knowledge. You watch YouTube videos, you read articles, you read books, you'll have a lot of knowledge. Okay, you'll have a lot of knowledge. So you go to Microsoft website, you read things, you'll have a lot of knowledge. Okay, but will you able to apply your knowledge? Most of the cases it is difficult to apply the knowledge. Okay, it's like, formula of volume is equal to area into height. Okay, but if I give you a problem statement, you will get confused, what should I do? That is called as skills. Skills is when you are practically able to implement things. That is only possible if you do certain case studies, if you do certain projects, and if you are under guided mentorship, and if you are doing some kind of internship. Only then it is possible, otherwise it is not possible. Okay, so that's how you develop skills. Can you become a pilot by observing or by watching pilot flying videos? Is it possible? Yes, Dhruv.
No, sir.
No, it's not possible. You may have all the knowledge कि सुनो 5 तरह के मीटर होते हैं, लिवर ऐसे चलता है, ये ऐसे चलता है, flying principle ऐसे होता है. You may have all the knowledge in the world, but you will not be able to fly the plane. That's called as skill, right? And next thing is called as attitude. Hmm? Problem solving attitude, communication skills, right? So quick thinking ability, and these all personality related things are developed when you interact with people who are better than you, right? How do you develop better communication skill? When you go and talk to people who have good communication skills, right? How do you develop better problem solving ability? When you put yourself around situations or people where you can develop such skills. That is the only way. Okay, so these are the three things. So my advice to all the university students are very simple. Key minimum knowledge, maximum skills, right? Do projects, case studies, have a mentor in your life. Nowadays, mentors and mentorship and training industry is a huge industry in India. People are offering a lot of mentorships to everyone. Get a mentorship, get industry case studies and project and experiences. Okay, and develop the right attitude in terms of problem solving, communication skills, etc. इसके ऊपर if you have a certificate from a well recognized institution, so that is like कि चलो मेरे पास बताने के लिए भी है ये रहा. But many of the times students are just focusing either on I will watch YouTube and I will have a lot of knowledge. Hmm? So watching YouTube article, reading books, etc. will give you knowledge. You can have degree, but you cannot have employability. Employability के लिए you need skills. If I give me an analysis of which stock will rise, you should be able to do it. If you cannot do it, all your knowledge is waste. Okay. Many of the time I have seen people blindly going for certificates. Okay. कि यहाँ से मुझे सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा, और पीपल मार्केट इट ऑल्सो वेरी स्मार्टली कि हम प्लेसमेंट भी दे रहे हैं आपको, आप हमारे पास सर्टिफिकेट कर लो, हम आपको प्लेसमेंट भी दे लेंगे. So what happens here is your focus shifts from developing skills to getting a certificate. My advice is you need everything. And what is the ratio? The ratio is very simple. Have minimum knowledge, minimum required knowledge. Have maximum skills. Skills कैसे डेवलप होता है? केस स्टडी, प्रोजेक्ट्स, इंटर्नशिप, mentorship इससे ही डेवलप होता है. ओके. Attitude. How attitude is developed? When you interact with people who are doing better than you. Hmm? Right? And then third thing is go with a well recognized certificates. So I see a lot of students putting up on their LinkedIn, I'm this certified, I'm that certified, I'm Google certified, I'm Microsoft certified, right? And when we interview them, they don't know anything. And I've met people who have no certificate. I've also met people who do not have a good degree also. They have done some degree from Gaon and all, right? We are doing some of these projects with Ministry of IT, and these people have all kind of skills, right? They do not have a very well reputed degree, but they have good skills in terms of, आप उन्हें टास्क दो, वो फटाफट खत्म करके ले आएंगे. हाँ, उनमें एक थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आता है, उनका कम्युनिकेशन प्रॉब्लम थोड़ा आ जाता है, which is by default good for you guys, but communication alone is not going to help you, right? So this is the roadmap for all of you. Have as many certificates, a relevant industry certificate as possible. But whenever you are pushing for certificates, please always push for mentor led certificate, or certificate duration should be big. Don't go for 1 hour certificate, 2 hour certificate. Go for a big duration certificate. Your certificate should have some industry case studies, some good industry projects. You should get an opportunity to work with industry people. देखो industry में क्या चल रहा है और वो लोग कैसे कर रहे हैं. उसके बिना your certificate is meaningless, because nobody would give you a job because you have a degree or you have a certificate. They'll ask you questions. They'll see what skills you have. If you are not able to justify the skills, then your Google certificate is waste, which is what happens. लोग ना बहुत सारे गूगल माइक्रोसॉफ्ट सर्टिफिकेट एक एक घंटे का, दो घंटे का ले करके बैठ जाते हैं. हाँ, उससे होता तो कुछ नहीं है. So that's what we are offering you. Okay, we are offering you proper knowledge, all kind of skill sets. We will also talk about how to develop a good attitude and how to get into industry. I'll also will try to bring some more industry colleagues who can interact with you and give you direct mentorship, right? And at the end, if you complete my assignment, if you are regular here, if you are regularly attending this training program, you are participating, like few of you are participating, right? So we will give you some assessment extra, and these assessment and exam is not to trouble you with one more exam. This is to make sure कि आपको समझ में आ गया है क्या. Okay, अगर कुछ नहीं समझ में आया तो we will fix it. We'll work it out where you have done what all. If you don't clear a certain exam, so these exams are not very heavy exams, these are easy exams where we'll see, okay, pivot table क्या है, क्यों है, ये आया क्या. Assignments is like what we have studied उस पे, इस पे assignment. So when you do assignment, some skill will develop. When you do a small project, some skill will develop. When you do an internship, innumerable skills plus attitude will develop. Problem solving, communication, those things will develop when you do internship, right? When you appear for these small 1 hour certificate examinations, तो क्या होगा कि आपको भी सर्टन हो जाएगा कि आई हैव दिस स्किल्स, हमें भी सर्टन हो जाएगा कि हाँ आपके पास ये स्किल्स है. अगर नहीं है तो फिर वी विल फिक्स इट, right? So this is one of the thing why this is what we are doing. Also, you must have seen NEP 2020 is been implemented in your universities, correct? And now such certifications are compulsory, right? So you do not have to go outside and pay 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, or do meaningless free certificate programs. We will give you right at your institution all the meaningful certificate programs which are industry relevant at no cost. All these trainings are free. For examinations and certification, there will always be some cost depending upon what type of a certificate you are offering for, right? But that is just an exam fee. Like how if you enroll for Microsoft exams, there is some fee. When you enroll for Google certificate program, there is some fee. So Google, Microsoft, these Oracle, these people have two set of certificates. One is free and one is paid. Free is a simple one. Paid one goes up to lakhs, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. So I remember for SAP it takes 5 lakh rupees, and if you fail the exam your 5 lakh gone, right? So we offer same certificate with and there is no training. They don't give you any training, you can only go and write exams. So what we do here is once or twice in a year we come up with such type of industry trainings with association with good universities in and around in Maharashtra and in some reputed institutes, including IIT. So we go and train IITs also many times. So we come up with training program with certifications, right? But it is voluntarily based. Done. Any questions? I think one gentleman had a
Yeah,
question.
yes, yes, sir. So I'm having a doubt.
Yes.
So if we want to learn how to use Power BI and Tableau, so like, do we need basic knowledge of Excel, or like we can directly jump to learn Power BI and Tableau?
So, see, you can jump to Power BI and Tableau directly without knowing Excel. But then the clarity you will have after this Excel training program, and that would be unparalleled. So, advisable if you want to be an expert, you have to start with Excel. If you just want, see, there are two things ना. एक होता है operator, ठीक है, एक होता है operator, एक होता है expert. What do you mean by operator? So, for example, car, you only know how to drive the car. कार खराब हो गया तो I don't know, right? You will just sit and you will wait for somebody to come and help you, correct? एक होता है you know how to fix your car also and you know how to drive it also. So which one is better? Obviously the one who has both the knowledge, right?
Yeah,
So many times what happens is we are focusing on tools, है ना? I will uh, 10 so I will tell you the tool. Power BI कैसे use करते हैं, किधर click करना है. It makes no sense. आई वॉन्ट यू टू नो कि पावर बी आई यूज करके आप क्या क्या मैजिक कर सकते हो. what is the science behind it, and the science behind it, it's easy to understand in Excel. See, in Excel what happens is सब दिख रहा है आंखों से ना, सामने सामने क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा. You can see how the data is moving from here to there to there to there. In Power BI and sophisticated tools you don't see anything. There is a button, you click it and it will give you a result. So जो पीछे का प्रोसेस है वो दिखाई नहीं देता है. So what we want is you understand the process and then you learn Power BI and other tools. See, what are the chances tomorrow Power BI will shut down and something new will come? High chances, right? So if you know the science, if you know how data science, data engineering, data analytics work, and you have implemented is using as simple as एक्सेल का फायदा क्या है ना, इसमें सब चीज दिखता है, बेसिक प्रोसेस समझ में आता है। तो टूल कल कोई सा भी चेंज हो जाए, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ना चाहिए। दैट्स व्हाट वी लुक फॉरवर्ड। Tomorrow Power BI is there or not, you should be able to do analysis. I'll give you a better example. There are people who get trained in tools like Tally. कि टैली है, इधर 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 क्लिक करो, तुम्हारा इनकम टैक्स फाइल हो जाएगा, तुम्हारा बैलेंस शीट बन जाएगा, करेक्ट। कल अगर टैली बंद हो गया या टैली में नया अपडेट आ गया, तो ये पर्सन खत्म है, इसको नहीं पता आप क्या करना है, राइट। इसको नहीं पता अभी टैली का इंटरफेस चेंज हो गया या कुछ नया अपडेट आ गया या टैली बंद हो गया या कोई एक नया टूल आ गया जो सब लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, ये इसके स्किल्स खत्म, इसका स्किल जीरो हो गया फिर। ओके, तो व्हाट वी वांट फ्रॉम यू इज कि बैलेंस शीट बनानी है, हाँ लाओ भाई, पेपर पेन लाओ, ये रहा सर बना दिया मैंने, बिकॉज आई नो व्हाट इज बैलेंस शीट एंड हाउ इट इज डन, आई नो द बेसिक साइंस बिहाइंड इट। व्हेन आई नो द बेसिक साइंस बिहाइंड इट, it is irrelevant if I have tally or not. If I have tally, good, I can save some time, उसमें क्लिक करूंगा इजीली बन जाएगा, बट नहीं भी है तो I can do it using paper pen, I can do it using simple Excel, or if I have some tool I can do it, and tomorrow if you bring some new tool also I should be able to do it. So that should be your focus. So always go with basic concepts. Okay, Excel, because Excel may you understand the process in much better way. Then go for Power BI, then go for Tableau. Not only Power BI and Tableau, there are many other amazing tools, very specialized tools, which we'll discuss in the later session. Hmm? Jumping directly on Power BI, Tableau will make you an operator. आपको सिर्फ पता है किधर क्या क्लिक करना है, आपको साइंस नहीं पता रहेगा, तो आप सिर्फ कुछ लिमिटेड चीजें ही कर पाओगे। आप आपको मैं इंडस्ट्री प्रोजेक्ट दूंगा तो आप गड़बड़ हो जाएगा। ऑल राइट, थैंक यू, आई होप दैट सॉल्व्स योर क्वेरी।
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, most welcome. Done. चलो ठीक है, with that we will close this session. If you are interested for the advanced certificate program, I am posting the link in your chat box. I'll also post the link in your support group also. This is by invitation, we'll not keep it uh, open for everyone. Reason being is, yeah, this is something much serious, so we don't want people who sign up for the program and then they don't come. Okay, also the training is free. For the exam registration there would be a fee of 500 rupees for your Excel, right, which is nothing. Go ahead. When this training program would be conducted, possibly within next 2 to 3 weeks, once your examination etc is over, so that your academics is not disturbed, that will coordinate with your faculties or your department. Done. All right guys, with that, bye bye, take care. I will share today's session and some more practice set for each one of you to practice all of these things. Till then, take care, bye bye, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Most welcome. Bye bye.